Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, so hunting season is here. If you didn't get a chance, please make sure you go to threeriverblades.com and make sure you sign up for the mailing list. The mailing list is where I'm going to be sending all the discount codes. If you're not on the mailing list, you will not get the discount code, you will not get the discount. Alright, enough about that. Go to threeriverblades.com. If you want to support me, go to threeriverblades.com, buy a knife. It is hunting season. I make knives for hunting season and the great outdoors. Please, if you want to support me and my family, you want me to keep the channel going, then please go up there, buy a knife. I will say if you get orders in now, hopefully you should be able to get it by Christmas, but it depends on you and it depends how quickly that you can make that order. So make that purchase, get on the mailing list. Alright, enough about that. In front of me, you're going to see my hunting gear kit. I will tell you, this is not all the stuff that I take with me. It is a select bunch of kit that I keep in a bin, and then I select from that bin what I'm going to put in the pack depending on where I'm going, what I'm hunting, and what I'm hunting with. Right now it's bow season. It's going to be bow season from October 1 until October 19th. And then you can do muzzle loading, and then of course after that it's going to be regular rifle season. Okay, I'll go over all the gear, but understand this is not what I'm taking all this stuff in a bin, and then I take a pack and I stuff what I need in there for the day. I do believe in taking a pack with just a certain certain items that you may or may not need depending on where you're going and what you need. I think it's important to take a couple survival items with you in case you get turned around or lost in the woods, especially if it's a new piece of property that you're not familiar with. I happen to know a lot of people that have property that I've never hunted on before, and it's a scary feeling when you go out there for something and the next thing you know you're stuck in the woods overnight. It has happened to me before. It's not a big deal. I was able to find my way out, light a fire, stay warm, that kind of thing. Ideally, there's going to be a lot of guys on this channel, or a lot of guys commenting down below, that you don't need all that crap. All you need is a pack of Marlboros, your hunting rifle, and 4 rounds of ammunition, and you just bring home a buck. If that's the way you hunt, then God bless you, but that's not the way I hunt. Everything here is subjective. It is my opinion only based on my experiences. I will not be going over any weapons other than what you see here on the table. I think it's important that if you're going to go hunting, make sure you know your state laws, make sure you know your regulations, all that kind of stuff, and of course make sure you pay for the licensing. Just don't sneak on people's property and do stupid, wild, crazy shit, because that's the first way to get not only your license revoked but probably get arrested. In my state, you're not allowed to hunt within 500 yards of any building unless it's your building. Okay, so neighbors don't want rounds or arrows flying through the backyard. I get it 100%. So please make sure you're abiding by all those laws. So like I said, let's get into the kit, because I know someone's already pushing the slider to see where I start picking up items. Again, this is not what I'm putting in just one pack. It's just what I have on the table, and it goes in a bin, and I select the stuff that I need for that hunt or that day or that week. Alright, first thing, most importantly, make sure that you get your tags. This is my tag. Very simple. Just go to your internet, fire up the interwebs, make sure you got the appropriate tags, pay whatever you need to pay, and then abide by the law. Okay, I'm going to go over a couple of hunting items, clothing items. In my state, you have to wear some type of orange. You don't have to be decked out in orange, and ideally the book says you need about this much orange where my fingers are, like a little swatch of it. Okay, for me, what I usually wind up doing is, depending on where I'm hunting, I usually just take a hat. I think the hat, whatever the hat is, kind of stands out a lot when you're moving, and then when you're sitting still you're fine. You could switch to another hat. The ball caps seem to work best for me. When I'm in a static position or in some type of hide or in a tree stand, I take this hat off and I put this hat on. But when I'm moving through the woods, I use some type of orange. I think it's important that other hunters see you, because not everybody is experienced as they should be, and like I said, some people don't follow the law. I know I go to a lot of places that are out of the way, and people hunt all year round, and it's not the way it's supposed to be, and nobody follows the law, and they should be prosecuted for it. However, you know, it is what it is. It's a shame. It's not conservation, but you know, when you got to feed your family, you got to do what you got to do. So I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it's different people do different wacky shit. So what I do is I always make sure if I'm going to walk around in the woods, I have some type of orange. These gloves are just tactical gloves. Everything that I bought here, I bought on Amazon. These are lightweight tactical gloves. I like it because it has the rubber grip on there and I won't drop my weapon. And I like to cover my hands if I can. I do have cold weather gloves that are in my other kit, and again, that's just from walking or just sitting for a while. I'll put those on to keep my hands warm, but I don't like to have my digits covered in case that big monster buck comes up. This is nice little hoodie cover, neck gaiter / hoodie, and it's cool. I'm okay with it. It's fleece, it's nice and warm. I also have my shema that I always carry with me. And what happens a lot, and I figured this out, is when you're walking through the woods or you're walking through your tree stand, it's best to take all your clothes off so you don't overheat, especially if you're going to be sitting in an area that's going to be very cold and windy. I like to go hunting in November, December, where it's very, very cold, and if you wear all your heavy kit, your thermals and everything to your tree stand or wherever you're going to go, you wind up sweating and then sitting, and that's like the worst thing for you. Speaking of sitting, usually I just take this with me. It's a Thermarest. It's a Z seat. Just some egg crate kind of material. I also use this hiking. A lot of the stuff you see here is going to be multi-purpose, so you can take this hiking or you can take it hunting anytime in the woods or camping, etc. If it's going to be a long stay, I do have a field chair that I'll take with me and put it on my pack. It just depends. It depends if I'm going to sit in a tree stand or I'm just going to sit on the cold ground. Right? I do have some black bags and some smaller bags, sandwich bags, just to waterproof my stuff. And again, if I wanted to quarter an animal, I could use the black bags to pull it out. Very simple, just a little emergency space blanket. I like these better than the emergency, I guess they call them, what do they call them, bivvies, whatever they are, just because I can use this as a shelter instead of just wrapping myself up with it, and I could use this as well. I could also use it as a tarp, which is nice. I like that idea better because a lot of times I have enough clothing with me or on me in order to keep myself warm, and that just provides a little overhead cover if I need it, just to stay warm to get myself back on track. Right? I do carry bungee cords. A lot of the bungee cords that I'm going to carry, these are just 2-footers. Again, it helps me to set up that tarp if I need to in a hurry, or if I want to strap something to my pack, I just use those bungee cords. Little 550 cord. These are not climbing carabiners. These are just regular simple run-of-the-mill metal ones. It just helps me quickly on and off. I do have climbing rope. This is military grade climbing rope. If you are old school like me, this is what you would call a Swiss seat. You can make this into a Swiss seat. So it is climbing capable. But what I use this for is a deer drag. If I need to tie the deer up and drag it out, sometimes it's easier to use rope. It's about 6 foot of rope, and I could use it for multiple applications. I could run a line from tree to tree or pole to pole. I could use it to climb with if I needed to. Although it's not that long, it's enough to pull a deer out of its wherever I shot it. Some other things as far as water goes, I just have a metal Nalgene Canteen. Has a square bottom on it. This has not been used, and it has a cup. A lot of the times I go to a cabin and I use this cup for like regular coffee. It's not so much of a survival item, but if I needed it to, I absolutely could, and I could use the metal to boil water, that kind of thing. A lot of times when you're hunting, more than likely you're just going to carry this. This is a Thermos. Someone actually gave this to me. I don't know what the how deep it is or whatever, but it's just a regular coffee thermos. I'm a big coffee advocate and I drink a lot of caffeine. The only problem is you got to be careful. If you drink too much caffeine, then you're going to have to go take a leak, and of course you don't want to mess up the scent in your stand. But one of those two items would go in my pack along with any water bladder if I needed to. And this is a survival item that I always carry with me. It's just the mini filter, Sawyer mini. It weighs next to nothing, so I don't mind throwing one of these in every single pack I have. It just comes with a little water filter right here, and it has some cleaning pieces, that kind of thing. No big deal, just throw it in your pack and have it. As far as food goes, while I'm out there, I always carry some type of Cliff Bar or nutrition bar or something like that. I think it's important to stay hydrated, and it's important to eat while you're out there. You don't want to be gnawing on a bag of chips or making a lot of noise, and sometimes these food items do emit odor, but I think it's important to keep yourself well nourished. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll carry apples, and I'll eat the apples, and then sometimes I'll just throw them in the woods, and then of course if the deer happens to come by and smell that apple, it smells a lot better than some type of future age type of candy bar that he doesn't know what it is. So an apple to them is very familiar, and it won't give away your scent. Also, it's apple picking season, so I'm going to get a whole bag of those and then bring them to the woods. And it's nutritious for you and the deer, so it works out great. Or the bear, or whatever. Some of the items I do purchase from the store are scent killer. I don't know how well this works. They do have a laundry detergent that you can use, that instead of spraying it on, you wash your clothes in it. And I think anything that gives you the edge, great. You know, I also have deer calls that never worked. I also have deer scent, like doe urine, that kind of thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not opposed to using that type of lure. We're not allowed to bait our deer here in this state, so no salt licks, nothing crazy like that. We can't do the feeders, that kind of thing. So any advantage you have. I just have some insect repellent in the back. And one of the things I want to talk to you about, if you guys are in the woods, this is like some of the best stuff you can get. Sawyer makes this stuff. What the hell is it? Premium insect repellent for clothes, blah 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 blah. Permanent, I think it's called. But so I have a friend of mine that went hiking in the woods just recently, and he got bit by a tick, and he got Lyme disease. All right, so it's no joke. Here in the Northeast, Lyme disease is really bad, so you got to be very careful. But you have to also understand that if you're going hunting, you are trying to get rid of your scent, and then if you put on something like this, you're actually adding to your scent. So you have to kind of understand or realize or find a better way to keep the bugs and ticks off of you. Like I always wear long sleeves, and if I have to, I'll wear a head net as opposed to spraying that stuff on, because at least this way I can keep the scent down without giving my position away. Alright. Some other things that I use is these Baofangs. This is for my communication. There's a ton of these things on the internet. You can also use the VHF or whatever, the really cheapy ones, and I hate the cheapy ones because they really suck. I'm going to try these out. These weren't that expensive. I have the mic in here. I have the extended battery. I also have the extended whip antenna, and I also have like a microphone in there, so if I wanted to keep it on my chest, I could do that. And I'm going to try these out. I haven't tried them out before, but these are supposed to be pretty good. You can get it's 8-watt output, narrow and wideband coverage, has different channel modes, encoders, also has an FM and built-in flash. It also has a flashlight on top, which is really neither here or there. But Baofeng, they're made in China. They're relatively cheap, but honestly for a VHF radio, it's a lot better than those crappy ones that you buy in Walmart. I'm hoping to get a little bit more distance out of it, especially because a lot of times I go hunting, it's in the mountains. So mountains are no good for radio communication. If I'm close enough, sometimes I get cell service, so I could call somebody at the house if I need help. This is very simple, just my map case. I don't have a map of this guy's property, but what I did do is I went to Google Earth, and Google Earth kind of gives you like a 3D imaging, and of course you can see like a whole bunch of houses there. I don't know if that'll clear up. I'm trying to cover the address because I know you guys are crazy. You'll wind up at someone's house. All right, so you can download the property and then take a pretty good picture of it and understand which way is north and that kind of thing and figure it out. This is just advanced medical kits. This is my hiking kit and my hunting kit. I have everything in here from boo-boo ouch stuff to like heavy bleeder, and I also have tourniquets and all kinds of stuff. And a lot of people are like, "Well, a tourniquet?" I was like, "Yeah, if you took a broadhead arrow to the chest, you're probably not going to make it." So we're using these things to kill animals. Well, human beings are also animals, and human beings are also not smart. And like I said, if you're not wearing the right gear, you might get shot or hit with something and can get really hurt. And of course, sprained ankles and all that other kind of stuff. Maybe you got a headache, or you know, I also keep like some of that coldy stuff in there because a lot of times I go hunting, you get sick. Steiners, these are my binos, very small little case. These are Steiners. All right, these are 8x22. All right, these are pretty good binos, adjustable, comes in a little kit. You know, a lot of times what you're going to be doing is waiting and watching, and it doesn't always help if to have your head down. I know a friend of mine, he takes a book with him all the time, and it's great when you're super bored and you're in a tree stand, you can read a book, but if you're not watching the land, you're really not hunting, you're just sitting in a tree. So Pro Staff, this is a rangefinder. There it is, rangefinder. I was looking for it. Waterproof 6x21. Nikon makes this. This is a very affordable system. It's worked for me in the past. Again, a lot of electronics. I'm not a big fan of taking all these electronics because then you got to take batteries. But you know what? Any advantage you can get, take it. This is my little fire survival kit that I built. Fire steel, some duct tape, matches, signal mirror, lighter. You know, that kind of thing. Very small shirt pocket. Also, if you guys are interested, I do have the shirt pocket survival kits available. Go to 3riverblades.com. I put them up there. There's about 10 of them available, and I reduced the price to 25 bucks. So great little stocking stuffer if you're interested. All right. I think this is my bag of goodies. This is my CF Summit. Some of you guys have seen this before because it's just stuff that I wind up using a lot of, and I don't know why this bag fits so well, it just does. So in here I got some Imodium tablets for obvious reasons. I have my little Lansky sharpener. Now I don't like these sharpeners for long-term use, but if you've been using your knife for quite a bit and you just need to touch it up, it's not a big deal to just throw one of those in there. You'll see a couple things like chapstick, my lighter, another lighter. I got an Eaton tool or spork or light my fire, that's what it is. Titanium, Tylenol, obvious reasons there. Sunscreen, I have yet to use sunscreen, but you know what, sometimes when you're out there, like I said, I use this as well as for hiking. I use a lot of the same stuff. This is what I was talking about too. Picaridin, whatever, it's lotion. This is the good stuff. This is like, I don't know if you're familiar with DEET. This is like pretty good stuff, but again, you know, your scent is gonna decide how you work that into your system. Purell, because if you have to go to the bathroom, I always bring baby wipes with me, and that's like my little bag of goodies. Believe it or not, I have used a lot of the stuff that is in here on a regular basis. I mean, this is brand new, that's why it hasn't been used, because again, like I said, I'm not really sure if I'm going to go all out and use bug spray on a hunt. It's probably not really recommended or a good idea, but I always have this stuff in here and it folds down pretty nice, and it's my little goodie bag, and you just waterproof it like that, and you're done. Cedar Summit makes that. Amazon, it's pretty cool. You could also put the fire kit in there, but what I find is I don't want to put too much stuff in that bag. I don't want to rip it, break it, whatever. So this is my deer processing kit. It's just a bunch of heavy blue gloves, a 3M mask. Some people get a little grossed out from the smell, and just a cleanup cloth. It's just a regular old dish towel that we're no longer using. And if you wanted to use this kit in conjunction with the black bags, obviously you can quarter your animal and you should be good to go. Couple other things, flashlight. Alright, I use this flashlight. It's not a big deal. I got these pretty cheap. I think you can get them for like 40 bucks. They're Surefire. This has like that tactical loop on it, which you're supposed to like be able to use your fire handgun, and I don't know. I thought it was cool because of the clip. The clip is actually the best part about it because you can clip it on the side of your pants and not lose it. More than likely though, I'll be using some type of headlamp. This is the Energizer. It has 3 different modes. It has red, it has white, it has low, it has high, and it has help me. I just shit the bed. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So rescue mode is pretty important. Extra batteries, of course. Put my little spork over there. This is the knife that I make. This is the Mark I Scout. It's a stainless steel knife, and as you can see, I've used this before. A little bit thick. This is about 3/16 inch thick, but it has a nice saber grind to a 0 edge. I mean, this thing is really, really sharp. And of course, my Carter handles, that kind of thing. And I always use this when I'm hiking, when I'm camping, when I'm hunting. It's like the perfect size. It's a 5-inch blade with a 5-inch handle. All right, it works great. Can't say enough about it. It's proven its worth time and time again. I make them with Kydex sheath, and it does have a tech lock on it, which you can get from the website. So as far as knives go or tools, you're looking at one knife, and I use a Gomboy. This is the 240 edition, 240. So it's a little bit, the teeth are a little bit medium. They're not fine, if that makes sense. And what I use this for is either if I want to build a brush blind, or if I want to cut the legs off an animal, such as a deer or an elk. You know, you can cut from the ankle joint down, or from the knee joint, I should say, down. It works pretty good, and it has a rubbery texture, so I won't drop it if it's raining or if it's cold. And then a Leatherman. I always carry a Leatherman. This one is the Super Tool. I had one in black, which I liked a lot, but I was afraid that if I dropped it, I wouldn't be able to find it again, so I had to get one in chrome or polished chrome. I like this. It has so many damn tools in it. It's awesome. The blade edge is super razor. It comes with a saw. Comes with another blade. You know, this is just like the ultimate tool. I was carrying the, oh, what the hell is the name of that one? The Wave. Yeah, the Wave is really nice, but this tool was a little bit more expensive, but I kind of like I don't mind the heft, because if I'm hunting, it's not a big deal. I can throw it in my pack, or I can wear it on my belt. Alright, so it's not a big deal, but that's like as far as tools. As far as weapons go, and I failed to mention this before, but this is, what is this, Underwoods? These are Underwood in my other video. So this is Underwood. Let's see if you can see that. 10 millimeter, 220 grain, hard cast, flat nose. Okay, so the idea behind this, and like I said, this is a Glock 29. Let me just unload this for you because this is hot. Alright, so this is a Glock 29, 10 millimeter. Alright, nothing fancy about it. It's a Generation 3, and it just has regular Glock night sights on it. Nothing crazy. It's Gen 3, so it's going to be a little bit small, which is why I put the finger grooves on there, or the extensions. I think Pierce makes it. Yeah, these are Pierce grips, PG29. I don't know if you can see that. And it actually adds that one little pinky I could put on there. Now, this is a 10 millimeter, okay? So for this small gun, it actually recoils quite a bit, so you have to be prepared for it. The only reason why I like to carry 10 millimeter in the woods is because I'm not that proficient with other, you know, like a 44 Magnum or 357 Magnum. I like them, I use them, I shoot them, but I always carry a Glock 9mm everywhere. So to go to a 10mm for the woods kind of makes sense. It's the same trigger, same sight, same everything. The only thing we did was we upped the charge, we upped the bullet weight, all that kind of thing. So I'm a big fan of that. I know how to shoot a Glock, and once you shoot a Glock, you can shoot any Glocks. Okay, so 2 magazines. I top off with one, and then just have a regular old, what is this? Who makes this? DeSantis pancake holster. Now, I will say that I have carried this on many hikes. I have carried this in the mountains. I have carried this going on family vacation. Why I choose a 10mm is because it's sort of like the universal gun. Or I should say round. It doesn't matter if it's a Glock, a SIG, or a 1911, a 10mm round will get the job done, whether it's 4-legged or 2-legged animals, which I'm a huge fan, a huge component. Instead of me carrying 2 guns, I just need to carry 1. The Glock 29 is very bulky, so it is not a slimline Glock at all. So you have to understand that this is over an inch thick. It's wide, it's chunky, it's blocky. But for a woods gun, it works great. And if you have the proper holster and you have the proper belt for it, it's not a problem to carry. I've carried these up many mountains, so it's not a big deal. And I think they call it S-Tax or E-Tax. I forget the name of this company, but this company makes really good stuff. This is great because you can fit pretty much any magazine in there, and you see how nice and flush that fit, and I can put my belt, that's just my reload. Not a big deal. You don't need 20 rounds of ammunition to go to the woods, but it's better than carrying a revolver with 6 or 5. And then, like I said, here in the Northeast, we're not looking at anything major. It's going to be black bear, maybe some areas they might have a cougar here and there, but there's not too many wild predators here. It's not Alaska where you're looking at, you know, big grizzlies or something like that. But I find more than not the most wild animal I find in the woods is people. They're the most dangerous that I'm aware of. Check statistics if you don't believe me. People in the woods tend to be a little bit stranger, a little bit more creepy because there's nobody around and they can do you harm. I always carry that even if I'm carrying a rifle. You could also make that last final kill shot if you need to, and you don't want to shoot, you know, something in the head with like a 30-06 close range because you just blow it apart. Maybe a 10mm is a little bit more humane. Finishing up here, we got my Garmin. This is a Garmin Oregon 650T. Love this thing. You can take pictures. You can make maps with it. You can do like all kinds of crazy funky stuff. See, it's got the camera in the back, which is pretty cool. Love this thing. If you're gonna get anything this Christmas, get something like this for your husband or whoever, and I highly recommend this thing. The charge is excellent too. My backup's always going to be a Sunto compass. This has a mirror, bezel ring glows, all that kind of stuff. So this is a really good compass map reader. A couple other electronics is, I forget what they call this thing, little Spidey-like thing. I use this all the time. It's really cool because if you're in a tree stand or whatever the case is, you can like put this up on a tree and get your shots. Video, that is. Anchor battery, no big deal. You know, this has enough juice in it to actually charge up like 2 laptops. So this is a 13,000 mAh, so pretty good. So I can get quite a few charges out of that. And then of course I have this other charger. It's solar power, 500 mAh. Is it 500? Yeah, so this is pretty cool too. I think this has a light on it. Turn it on, whatever. So what happens is there's a battery inside here. This solar power charges that, and then you charge your cell phone if you need it. Again, I'm not going to carry all this stuff. This is just what I grab from when I need it, when I'm going hunting. But I think you guys kind of get the point. As far as packs go, I usually go with two different types of packs. This is the Half Track by Everly Stock. I think you guys seen this in another video. It has this green camouflage. It's like a digital pattern camouflage, and I've used this a lot when I go winter camping, but the problem is that the green color stands out like a sore thumb. So I wanted something a little bit browner, or maybe less tactical, more in a hunting environment. But this is an awesome pack. I mean, it's talk about comfortability. Everything's adjustable, waist straps, and look at that lumbar support. You could like sleep on this. It's like a nice comfy pillow. Use this thing a lot. It's got a lot of great side pouches and everything, but again, this is more of a tactical pack. So I went with this. This is the GX Hunter's Pack. Really cool with this is that it's smaller. It's a little bit more slimline, and it is brown. You open all this up, and this thing opens up like a butterfly. So you have this like nice big pouch that you can stuff a lot of stuff in through here. And then you have water pouches that zip. So if you want to put a bladder in there, it even comes with the little clasp. And then side pouches, top, bottom. You know, this thing is awesome. But what's really cool about this is it has an external frame. I don't know if you can see that right there. So it has this actual external frame on this pack, which is really cool. And again, you know, same thing, super comfortable. You know, hunter's pack. So I really like this. I think it's GX or G2 or something like that. Everly Stock makes really good products, and I know they're expensive. Try to get them on sale. If you can, go to Amazon, get them on sale, and they have a lot of good stuff. Alright, so check them out. I highly recommend Everly Stock. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you appreciate this video. Like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, and like I said, if you're interested, please go to threeriverblades.com, support the channel, buy a knife for your loved ones. It will last forever. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. threeriverblades.com. Thanks.